Back to a brand new video. Today we're doing college football player props here on PrizePicks for Saturday, November 5th. Before we get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There is also a Discord link in the description below where we are building a super strong community. Everyone in the Discord is trying to help each other win, as well as Patreon link is in the description below of this video, where I do post all the plays here I'm making on PrizePicks for each sport that I do play: NFL, college football, NBA player props on PrizePicks. Patreon posts every single day, so go ahead and check out that link in the description below. But let's get into it. It is Saturday slate, November 5th. Two player props that I do like. Again, not a gambling expert, not financial advice, simply just plays I'm personally looking at making, hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player props here. But let's get into it. The first one that I like is going to be a running back receiving prop, and we're going to go with Travis Dye over 18.5 receiving yards here. The Travis Dye has more specifically hit the over on this at 18-43 and 19 receiving yards. So again, super close to hitting this 3 times in a row, but definitely this is his last 2. But he has been getting some decent targets out the backfield here. If we go to running back stats here, Travis Dye, 4 targets, 3 targets, 4 targets, 3 targets. So targets have been kind of all over the place. I love this play here because of the matchup against Cal. Now, we saw Oregon last week. We saw 3 different running backs go over 18.5 receiving yards. Sean Dollars is a running back here. He had 2 catches for 48 yards. Bucky Irving, or another running back here, I believe. He may not be a running back. Yeah, another running back here, Bucky Irving. He had 3 catches for 61 yards here. And then Noah Whittington, the lead back in this backfield, had 5 catches for 67 yards. So 67, 61, and 48. 3 different running backs all smashed the over here on this against Cal. We also saw when Cal played Washington, Wayne Talupapa had 4 catches for 40 yards here. And then the backup running back Cameron Davis even caught 2 catches for 18 yards. And overall, right, college football defense here, the running back position, we can see here receptions to the running back position. Cal here, number 5 in all of college football as far as total receptions given up to the running back position. 5th highest amount of receptions to the running back position in all of college football. We sort this by yards. They are the 3rd highest team in college football to give up yards to the running back position. So I do love this spot here for Travis Dye. Again, I think this is a great play here in my opinion. He's hit this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times this season, had 1 game of 18 yards, but has literally at least caught 1 pass each game of the season. I think he catches at least 2 to 3 in this game, which 2 to 3 in this game against Cal should be easily over 18.5 yards in my opinion. So the first play I'm taking is Travis Dye over 18.5 receiving yards against Cal. And then the second player prop is going to be a quarterback fantasy score here, and we're going to go with Austin Reed. And I'm going to go with his over 24.5 fantasy score. Now, we've been taking Austin Reed a few times, definitely on Patreon, taking him a few times this season. He's hit the over on this 3 of his last 5, but most recently has missed on his last 2, 19 and 15, which I think we're getting some generosity here for PrizePicks at 24.5 here for Austin Reed. Considering maybe before that he was an absolute terror, 27, 33, and 28 fantasy score over his previous 3 before his most recent game. But overall, I think he's in a great spot here, in my opinion. Austin Reed going up against, as you can see here, he's going up against Charlotte, North Carolina, or Charlotte 49ers. The over-under on this game is at 72.5. Now, obviously, Western Kentucky is favored in this game. Charlotte is 2-7, but Charlotte has been in some shootouts, right? 23 points, 15 points, 20 points, 35 points, 20 points. So they could definitely put points on the board. Obviously, if Charlotte can put points on the board, obviously it's going to have Austin Reed have to push the ball downfield quite a bit. Points per game, 35. Charlotte's giving up 20. They're scoring 27. Points allowed, 41. But if we take a look at this here, fantasy points per game to the quarterback position, in all of college football, Charlotte is number 2. 31.9 fantasy points per game in all of football, college football at least, all the Division I teams, FBS teams. UNC Charlotte, number 2 through 8 games. 255 total fantasy points. 31.9 fantasy points per game here. So we're seeing Austin Reed, right, over under, we love it at 72.5. We'll take a look at past quarterbacks have done against Charlotte. So Rice quarterback TJ McMahon had 218, 3 touchdowns, also had 45 yards rushing. This would be, honestly, I believe, over 24.5 fantasy. Florida International quarterback Grayson James had 306, a touchdown, also 53 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. This is definitely over 24.5 fantasy. UAB Blazers quarterback Dylan Hopkins had 231 yards passing, 1 touchdown, but also had 103 on the ground, and then another rushing touchdown. I think this is pretty close to 24.5 fantasy. And then UTEP quarterback Gavin Hardison had 173 along with 3 touchdowns and also had 50 yards on the ground. So quarterbacks have been able to feast here against Charlotte. Great spot. I mean, as good as a matchup as you can possibly get here as far as teams that have played 8 games, 31.9 fantasy points per game to the quarterback position here for UNC Charlotte. Smash spot here for Austin Reed. I think we're getting some low fantasy score right here, some value because of his recent games. So a great play here for Austin Reed, over 24.5 fantasy score against Charlotte. Again, I think at the time this video goes live, or even, I don't know, these lines do have a strong chance at bumping here. So keep that in mind, that these lines could possibly bump. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these player props. Hit that subscribe button, you guys. Drop a like on this video. And as always, let's cash.